Hey, how's it going, you guys? It's SpideyDeco64 here again with yet another NASCAR video, and for this discussion, really, it's finally my turn, and I'm gonna be talking about how can we fix NASCAR. This is gonna be part one. I'm gonna make it in 3 parts. The first one I want to talk about, and that is the way. All right, so basically, you see, and that is, let's just get over it first up. I'm a big NASCAR fan. I've been watching the sport since 2017, which doesn't sound too long, but I'm a newer fan, basically. You know, my first ever favorite driver was Dale Earnhardt Jr., but then after he retired, Chase Elliott then became my new favorite driver, you know? So, yeah, I basically stayed with Hendrick, so, yeah. So recently, guys like YouTubers like Real Radman and other YouTubers, Real Radman in general, has been talking about like the lackluster of the sport after the Auto Club 400 race. You know? And basically, I want to talk about, no, this is going to be part one. And today, I want to talk about the point system. Alright, so, here's what I'm gonna do. So for part one, I'm gonna talk about the point system, the cars, and then part two will be about the cars, and then, part three, maybe I'll talk about other things. So, part three, the rules. So, yeah, let's just get straight, into this video. So NASCAR, for its glory days, back in the early 2000s, which was the glory days of NASCAR, you know, and it was also where they, let me just look for here. I got this NASCAR book right here, you know, that I have, you know, let me see. Like the glory days of NASCAR, when we had cars like these. When we had cars like these, you know, the Gen 6 cars, you know, and that's also you know, Dale Jr.'s win at in the Pepsi 400 at Daytona back in 2001. So today I just want to talk about the point system. You know, I don't want to talk about anything else about the cars and whatnot. So yeah. Yeah. So getting into the point system, alright, so if you guys do not know, that NASCAR has had several different points formats. There has been the regular Winston Cup format, which is basically, it's quite simple. I think it's that if you get the most points throughout the whole entire season, and all the races are important, then you win the championship. Drivers such as, you know, Jeff Gordon has won 4 champions with this. Matt Kenseth did not, in 2003, Matt Kenseth did not win an entire race throughout the whole entire season, and he won the 2003 Winston Cup champion. Then in 2004, they introduced the Chase, which I think may have turned off fans a little bit, but still the racing was really good back then. So the Chase was that, I think you had, alright, I'm going to figure out, I think it went like this. You had 12 different drivers, and one, you cannot win a race and automatically get in, okay? You know? Plus, they didn't have elimination, okay? And, this points system is how Kurt Busch, he won his first championship, and it's how Jimmy Johnson won 7 championships in a row. So, yeah. And then, getting into the new playoff format, it's not longer called the Chase anymore, it's called the playoffs now. Basically, if you win races throughout the regular season, which they call, then you get into the playoffs. So, yeah, and you have to win a race in each round in order to get in. So, yeah. And then you make it to the championship 4, and if you finish first in the championship standings, then you win the championship. You know? And so Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Jimmy Johnson, and Martin Truex Jr. were able to win under this format. Now, granted, Martin Truex Jr. could have won in any other format. He could have won in any other format. But you see, I think here's what the problem was with the points format today. The playoff system is a gimmick. It really is. The problems with it, and that is because, one, they added more spots in the chase. Now it was 12 drivers. Now it's 16 drivers. So it's a little bit bigger, And then also, let's see. Let's see. Oh yeah, and all right. The reason why this playoff format is such a gimmick is because one, drivers and teams who are not championship contenders. Like, example, in 2014, Eric Almirola, when he drove for Richard Petty Motorsports, he wasn't really a championship contender. That team was okay. It was okay, and he easily got into the chase by winning a rain-shortened race, which that's kind of good, I guess you can say. But yeah. But since Eric Almirola, he's now in a championship contending car, he's better off. A.J. Allmendinger, he got that upset win in Sonoma of 2014, and he easily made it into the playoffs. Man, this format is a gimmick. I'm also going to talk about Kyle Busch's championship. It's a fake championship. I'm not being a Kyle Busch hater at all. His championship, in 2015, it's fake. Now, why do I say that? Well, it's because, how can you miss 11 races during the season, and then in the second half of the season, you win a bunch of races, win 3 races in a row, and boom, you're automatically in the playoffs. And then, ironically, you were able to get into Homestead and win the championship. Now, why am I saying that this? Now, the reason why why it's a fake championship, that's because, and that is, it's unbelievable to me how someone can miss 11 races throughout the whole entire season, and then boom, you automatically win the championship. Now, yeah, it's like a comeback story, but still, Kyle Busch could have. If it was under the old points format, he could have never won the championship. Drivers such as maybe like Jeff Gordon or Kevin Harvick could have maybe won it. So that's really just the problem with it, really, in general. And then there's also people that complain about how Jimmy Johnson should have never won 7 championships. He's just a cheater. Without this chase system, he wouldn't have been able to win all those championships. Well, he won out under the old chase format, which was, I think, pretty good, and I think, they should never change it. But then he automatically won his 7th championship pretty easily, Plus, Jimmy Johnson, to be honest, I don't care what other people say. Jimmy Johnson, he's just a great driver, yeah, and he is a champion, But if this was under the old points format, then he maybe could have just only won 3 or 4 championships, and then Jeff Gordon could have been the 7-time champ. Which is, that could have happened. Now this is the next part of the video, where how can we fix it? Brian France, if you're listening to this, we need to fix this championship format. And what are my few suggestions? suggestions is that, one, get rid of the playoffs immediately. Get rid of it. You know, this is why the fans are leaving. They want their racing to be simple. You know, that's why people are going to IndyCar. You know, because one, they don't got no playoffs. You know, and they got no playoffs, and it's simple racing. You know, and also, I will be watching IndyCar Grand Prix and the Indianapolis 500. You know, I will be watching those races. You know, even though they're gonna be on it, ABC and ABC is gonna be terrible, but hey, NBC is gonna broadcast on IndyCar throughout the whole entire season. You know, I mean, seriously, here's the deal, Brian fans. NASCAR fans want their racing simple. They want it to be simple. They don't want it to be this bullshit. You have to make it to this round of the playoffs. This driver. Is he gonna make it throughout the playoffs? And also, it's pretty fucking stupid how NBC pay attention to either who's gonna make it in. Like, is Ryan Reed gonna get into the playoffs? Is Brendan Gaughan getting into the playoffs? Oh yeah. Also, it's a big mistake by adding a playoff system to the Xfinity and Truck Series, you know? I mean, I'm pretty sure people would rather watch the Xfinity Series back then than the Cup Series, you know? But yeah, yeah, that's the deal. Brian France, alright, I think this is I think this may be the best choice. Just get rid of it completely and just use the old, Winston Cup format. But that's most likely not going to happen. Or else maybe they'll change it, and then a whole bunch of NASCAR fans are like, fuck this sport, I'm going over to IndyCar because that racing is simple. And I completely agree with you, watching old Daytona 500 races, and all that stuff. I wish I could have watched NASCAR in an earlier time, considering one, back then I wasn't really a huge NASCAR fan. I watched the movie Cars. I kind of knew a little bit about it, 400 laps, yellow flag if there's a caution or big wreck, but, yeah. Or here's something else. Here's a second, suggestion, and that is, NASCAR, try to create or go back to the old system. Go back to the old system. That's something that could be easily fixed. You could just go back to your old point system, and then things will be fine. And yeah. Or maybe do it like this. I think also, if you guys are wondering, is there going to be a chase in the NASCAR Spyder Cup Series? No, there will not be a chase. It's going to be under the old Winston Cup format. Basically, for the drivers in my series, if you win a lot of races throughout the season, you get points, then you're a championship contender at Indy. So, yeah, it's going to be done under the old Winston Cup format. Because here's what you do. Here's what you can do, NASCAR. You can do this. The top 4 drivers in points. Like, example, if Mark Truex Jr., if he's in the top 4 in points. If Kevin Harvick, he's in the top champion in points. If Kyle Busch he's the top championship in points. Or it's Kyle Larson in the top four top 4 in the point standings, then create a one race shootout for these drivers to compete for a championship. You can still have a championship 4. You'll have 4 drivers who will compete for a championship, and they all won a lot of races throughout the season. Like, for instance, Kevin Harvick, this year he won 3 races. He's probably going to win more. Mark Truex Jr., he's going to win more. Kyle Busch, he's going to win more. Kyle Larson, I bet you he's going to win a lot more races this year. But, you could do that. Or maybe to get the people who left you, or maybe to get people back to the sport. Or maybe if you want to get people back to the sport, then you can easily Do it on the old Weston Cup format. No chase, no eliminated rounds, no anything. No, you're a win and you're in type of deal, you know? You know? Like if you're in a David Ray, like if you're an Austin Dillon situation, and if you win the Daytona 500, you're not a championship contender. You can at least try to be one, but you won't be. You know, yeah. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Part 2, I'm going to be talking about the cars and whatnot. So, yeah. Yeah. Anyways, with that being said, hopefully you enjoyed this video. With that being said, I will see all of you in the next video. Bye.